His name is Reverend Jeff Hillier he's the Eastern Youth Specialist in Missions for Eastern Ontario and Quebec District. So let me just say something about this man. I went to Thailand with him, and I've known him since Bible college days. I have nothing but admiration for this man. He's like kind of like my mentor, even though I'm ahead of him in class. And we meet up once in a while just to talk about stuff, talk about problems, talk about things in life. And I really, he's more like a mentor to me. So he's like kind of like my pastor in the sense that you understand what's going on as a youth pastor. He was a pastor at Pembroke Pentecostal Church up in Pembroke, way up north. Well, 4 hours I think from here. And I think did you do youth Oshawa or you grew up in Oshawa? Anyways, I'm just I don't have to speak any further. I just want you guys to give him a warm hand and just welcome him and JFA.
Thanks, Edwin. Is it okay if I preach down here? Yeah. All right. Well, it's great to be with you on your youth service. It's always fun to see what teenagers are going to do. And I was sitting there watching the play thinking, this is just like the Christmas production with little kids. No matter what happens on stage, everybody's laughing, right? And so it's just great to see the students involved and to see such a young congregation. I've got my family here with me. They're right back here. My little daughter, Briar, my wife, Nancy, my son, Phil, and my son, Rob. They're all embarrassed right now. I actually come from a very large family, the Hillier family. When we get together at Christmas time, there's 50 of us. My dad has 4 brothers and 1 sister, and there are lots and lots and lots of cousins, and now there's grandkids, or great-grandkids actually, to my grandmother. So the place is packed, and what's really cool is that when I walk into that room at Christmas time with all my family members, I'm very special because I'm the oldest of all the cousins. I'm like the first guy there, the first child, and so there was actually a group of us that were the special group. I call them the original 6. There were 6 cousins that they were the first ones born, and we used to hang out all the time together. There's myself, who's the oldest, and my sister, and I have 2 cousins, Stephen and Philip, who Pastor Edwin knows, and then I have 2 cousins, Chad and Keith, and we were the original 6 of all the cousins that had come to this family gathering, the original 6, and we used to get together all the time. Now, my grandparents, they used to have us over occasionally. Sometimes they'd have us over for one night when they were in their mind. And then other times when they were not so in their mind, they would have us over for many days. And the only reason why I say that is because me and my cousins could be quite the handful. I remember this one time we were staying at my grandparents, and they lived right in the corner of Markham and Shepherd, right on the northeast section. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with that white building right there. But we went there for a few days, my cousins and I, and the original 6. And we were having a great time. My grandparents had gone to their bedroom, and my cousins and I were just joking around. We were sleeping overnight. We've been having fun, having a really good time, joking around, bugging each other. My cousin Chad loved licorice, and so he would open up his licorice, and it would spill all over him, and we'd take them off the floor, and we'd whip them at each other. We were just kids, and so we just, you know what kids do, right? You just have a lot of fun, so we'd be throwing stuff at each other, laughing, and everybody was having a great time. Every one of us was joking around. We were just having a really good time. Well, then it got time for us to get ready for bed ourselves, and my cousin decided he was going to get changed right there in the living room. And so Chad began to take off his shirt, and then he went to take off his pants, and as he would take off his pants, I would grab his pants and throw them out to the balcony. All right? Now, my grandparents lived 6 stories on the 6th floor of this apartment building. They faced Shepherd, so if you went out into the balcony, people driving by could see you. All right, so my cousin wasn't very happy with me, and so I would throw his jeans out, and then the rest of us would start laughing, and he'd run out and grab the jeans and come back in, and he'd go, Jeff, stop doing that, and they'd start laughing, and we're all laughing, and he'd go get dressed again, take off his pants, and I'd grab his pants, and I'd throw them out in the balcony, and he'd go, you, and he'd say some things that I can't say in church, and then he'd go out in the balcony, and he'd grab his pants, and he'd come back in, and he goes, would you let me get dressed? And I go, okay, and everybody's laughing, we're having a great time. Kept on doing this, and so finally, I threw his stuff out on the balcony, and this time when he went to come back in after he had grabbed it, I grabbed the clothes out of his hands, and I pushed them and closed the door and locked it. So now he's on the balcony in his underwear, 6 stories up, facing Shepherd. He's probably a junior high age, probably 12, 13 years old, and he is not happy, okay? He's pounding on the glass, and he's like, let me in. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in one of these apartments, but the balcony went the full extension of the apartment. So it started in the living room, and then there was another bedroom, and then there was my grandparents' bedroom, and there was doors to the balcony from each bedroom. And so he couldn't get in, he didn't know what to do, so he ran to the second bedroom, and the second bedroom was locked in, so he went to the third bedroom, which is where my grandparents are sleeping. And he opens the door, it happened to be open. He's standing there in his underwear. He opens the door, and all my grandparents, they sit up in bed, and this boy comes running through their bedroom in his underwear and runs into the bathroom. And my grandma knows there's a problem, right? So she gets out of bed, and she knocks on the door, and she says, who just ran past us in bed? And so there's silence, and she says, who's in there? It's Chad. She says, Chad, what are you doing? Jeff locked me out in the balcony. And he is angry. He is so angry. And so she's knocking. She says, come on out, Chad. Come on out. We'll settle this up. He's, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out. He'd start getting all upset. So this was going on for, he's in there for about 5 minutes. My grandma finally comes out, and we're all laughing in the front room. And she says, hey guys, what's going on? And so one of my cousins said, well, Jeff locked Chad out in the balcony in his underwear. And my grandma said, well, he's in the bathroom right now, and he's not too happy. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go deal with him. So and she goes back to the bedroom, and I knock on the door, and I said, Chad, would you grow up? Get out here right now. We're just having fun. And he's like, I'm not coming out there. And I said, come on, Chad, come on out. And he's like, I'm not, this isn't funny. This stopped being funny when you tossed me in the balcony and locked the door. And he's just upset. And I was like, Chad, okay, no more joking around. It's fine, just come out. So Chad finally opens the door, and he walks out, and he's as grumpy as could be. I mean, he looks like he's just lost his girlfriend. I mean, he's just grumpy, and he just comes out, and he's like, hi guys. And we're trying so hard not to laugh. And we're sitting there, and we didn't know what to do. It was pretty awkward. But as we're sitting there, I realized something in this moment. It was so crazy because the atmosphere of who Chad was, his whole demeanor had changed radically from what had happened 15 minutes ago when we were all sitting around joking to this moment now where he looks incredibly depressed. And it wasn't just that we had been pulling pranks. It wasn't that he'd just been pranked, because he was laughing about it before. But what had happened was, what changed his demeanor is 15 minutes beforehand, he was part of the crowd. He was part of what everybody else was doing. He was joking around, and everybody's laughing at everybody. He's part of the crowd. But now, this last prank, he finds himself outside the crowd with everybody laughing at him. And now he doesn't feel like he's part of things. And as I think back to that story, I laugh about it all the time, all the things I did to my cousin Chad, but as I think back to that story, I think about how important it is for so many people, not just students, not just teenagers, but how important it is for people to feel like they're part of the crowd. And the honest truth is, we say, well, that's just a teen thing, that's just peer pressure. But I don't know too many adults who don't want to be accepted by other people. There is this pressure in our lives to be part of the crowd, to be accepted. And when we aren't part of the crowd, then our demeanor changes. We feel lonely. We feel like we should do something to be more accepted by other people. And there is this ongoing pressure to be part of the crowd. Now, usually when we talk about crowds and the pressures of being part of the crowd, we usually think about the pressures outside in the world, the pressures to not be like the crowd, or to not be necessarily accepted by the crowd out there. But this afternoon, I want to talk to you about breaking from the crowd, and I want to talk to you about the crowd inside the church.